Tonight on your DC News Now at 9, it's still too close to call in the race for the Montgomery County Executive Democratic Party. But one candidate is claiming victory, the other is saying not so fast. Why a recount is likely on the horizon.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the bill, as amended, is passed.
An historic day for the U.S. following the Senate's all-night vote-a-rama. Why climate change activists and economists have reason to celebrate this evening. Your News at 9 starts right now, but first, here's meteorologist Scott Sumner with a look at your weather.
Well, Marielle, as the temperatures continue to go down a little bit hour by hour, it's still humid out there, and the showers, they've pretty much dwindled away as well. But we'll show you the latest radar and give you the latest information for your Monday to start a new work week, and big changes on the horizon. All coming up.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Marielle Carbone. We begin tonight with breaking news. Confused and frightened, that is how several people felt after reports of shots fired at Tysons Corner Mall. Now, Fairfax police say they found no evidence of a shooting. Our Marisa Say was on the scene, and she has a breakdown of what exactly happened today.
Yes, several people were left confused after they saw people running inside Tysons Corner Mall. And one man even told me the whole situation is a little concerning after the shooting that took place here back in June.
Around 3 p.m. on Sunday, Fairfax County Police responded to Tysons Corner Mall for reports of gunshots inside.
And all of a sudden, I just see a swarm of people going out to the parking lot, and some people were saying there's a fight, there's a fight. Other people were saying there's a shooting.
When police arrived, they cleared the mall and began investigating. As shoppers waited outside, mall security was also arresting some shoplifters.
Now to the Bloomingdales, I saw some people getting escorted out in handcuffs. So that's what I thought was the situation.
After the investigation was complete, Fairfax County Police confirmed the loud noise was actually a light fixture that fell inside the mall. But the chaos left a lot of customers worried since there was a shooting that happened earlier this summer.
I thought, here we go again. It's the second time this summer, but who knows? That's why I was concerned, because I knew about the other shooting. I wasn't too scared, luckily, but it was just confusing for everybody.
The mall has reopened and they are operating as normal. Reporting in Fairfax County, Virginia, I'm Marisa Say, DC News Now.
DC's fire service saved a teenager from a house fire earlier today. They received a call about a 3-story duplex in Mississippi Avenue Northeast. By the time they arrived, they found that fire damage to 3 sides of the duplex. Now, a young boy was found on the 2nd floor. Officials say he is in critical condition and was taken to a nearby hospital to treat his wounds. 2 other adults were escorted out of the house with no serious injuries.
Currently, right now, the fire's completely knocked down. Units are picking up and cleaning up, and the fire investigation units inside trying to determine the cause and origin of the fire.
All right, and we know that a member of the fire team was also transported with minor injuries from the fire. Well, the D.C. Metropolitan Police are investigating a homicide that happened early this morning. Shortly after midnight, the police received reports of gunshots on 50th Street Northeast. When they arrived, they found that 31-year-old Adrian Mack of Greenbelt, Maryland, had been shot. Mack was transported to the nearest hospital, but despite doctors' efforts, he did pass away. D.C. police are still exploring the reason for that shooting. Please contact the Metro Police Department if you have any information. And 12 people are without a home tonight after an apartment fire in southeast D.C. It happened overnight on South Capitol Street. D.C. Fire and EMS say that several of the apartment units are unlivable due to water damage and the utilities being shut off in the building. Now, 12 people, they are being helped by the Red Cross and the D.C. Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Service. In Montgomery County, 2 men have been arrested and charged after robbing a McDonald's. Police tell us 21-year-old Zachary Kinnell and 20-year-old Brian Elzy were in a drive-thru at the Kensington restaurant when one of them got out of the car, pointed a handgun at the cashier, and stole money from the cash register right through the window. Now, officers later found a car that matched the description at another McDonald's. That's when Kinnell and Elzy were arrested. They face charges of armed robbery. Well, new tonight, a woman was killed on I-70 in Maryland after getting out of her car on the highway. This is a live look at the area. According to Maryland State Police, troopers received a call about concrete and metal materials blocking the interstate yesterday morning. Now they believe someone hit the bridge above the road, causing the concrete to fall and stopping several cars. That's when investigators say a 25-year-old woman got out of her car. While she stepped out, she was hit and killed by another car. Troopers are looking deeper into her death, but for now, they say the roadway and the bridge are both safe to use. Also in Maryland, state police are looking into what caused a fatal motorcycle crash this morning. Officials say the victim was a 44-year-old Sean Vincent Thomas from Cleveland, Ohio. Thomas and a group of other bikers were traveling north on Interstate 270. That's when he lost control and crashed. Thomas was declared dead at the scene. The police are still looking into the cause of that crash. And police say a body recovered from the Potomac River Friday was that of a 17-year-old boy. Witnesses say they saw someone trying to swim to a small boat, but then disappeared. He was eventually pulled from the water, and first responders say the boy was unconscious and not breathing. On the scene, DC News Now spoke with rescue officials about the best thing you can do if you ever see something like this happening.
It is difficult. What we always ask people, if people see somebody in distress in the water, to stay on the scene and to point us towards where they last saw the victim. That makes a big, big difference.
And crews were searching on the scene for hours before the boy's body was finally found there. Well, in Hagerstown, a fight between a father and son on Saturday leaves one dead and another injured. 58-year-old Thomas Dorsey is charged with first and second-degree murder as well as multiple counts of assault. Now, police say a fight broke out between Dorsey and his son, which led to Dorsey fatally stabbing a third person who is a friend of the son, who was also involved in that altercation. Another person suffered minor cuts, but it's unclear exactly who that person is. And the heat sends 8 people to the hospital in Stafford County. It happened after a public school convocation in Stafford County. More than 4,000 faculty members were meeting at the Fredericksburg National Stadium for the event, which started at 9:30. Now, by 11, the heat rose to extreme levels, sending 8 people to the hospital with heat-related illnesses. 80 more were treated. Now, we're told none of those treated were students. And DC News Now is your local election headquarters. And several weeks after Election Day, we are still tracking one major race that hasn't been called yet. That is the Montgomery County executive race. Now, could we be heading for a recount? Well, DC News Now's Katie Ree is here to break it down for us. And Katie, what's the latest on this?
Nearly 3 weeks after primary election day, candidates Mark Elrich and David Blair are only 42 votes apart. And the Associated Press has deemed this race too close to call. Incumbent Mark Elrich is currently in the lead, and all ballots are expected to be counted by the end of today. Local election officials say Montgomery County has trailed behind the rest of the state in the counting of ballots due to the high volume of mail-in ballots, as well as the Maryland law preventing election workers from counting those ballots until 2 days after the election. But with numbers so close, a recount isn't out of the question. According to Maryland election law, the trailing candidate may request a recount within 3 days of the certification of the vote. The Associated Press says the current margin of difference is less than 1%, actually 0.03%. But if that margin grows to more than 5%, a recount will not be allowed. And in 2018, Elrich beat Blair for that executive seat by just 77 votes. And David Blair has requested a full recount of those ballots. No word yet on when that count will be completed. So make sure you stick with your local election headquarters for the latest on that race. For now in the studio, Katie Ree, DC News Now.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's a Sunday night as you get ready and settled in to get into a new work week. What do we have outside? Well, our latest radar shows not much. Along Highway 340 and 15, heading towards the Frederick area. A little bit of light shower activity, but really, as we widen out the view, there is not much else going on. Most of the active weather is currently in Pennsylvania, southern Pennsylvania, and even as far south and west as Rockingham, Virginia. Well, you've had some flooding down that way, but really, it's been a fairly good and quiet weekend, all in all, in and around D.C. and everywhere else. Now, temperatures They've been quite warm. The humidity has been quite high. So triple-digit heat has been seen not only this afternoon, but also yesterday. We will continue to feel and see that heat here as we go throughout the next couple of days. D.C.'s current temperature is 85 degrees. Annapolis at 84. Same for Frederick. Leesburg at 82. But back here across the mountains, the Shenandoah Valley, the I-81 corridor, that's where you're seeing temperatures holding into the 70s at this hour. And so are the dew point temperatures. And when you have these type of numbers here that you see on the map, that means it's very muggy outside across the entire area. So once again, how's it feeling tonight? Oh, well, I don't have to tell you, but yeah, muggy is the condition, is what it's feeling like. Now, tonight's forecast to take you up to about 11 o'clock. Temperatures in the upper 70s, dropping out of the 80s and staying in the middle and upper 70s straight through to about 5 o'clock in the morning. We may bottom out in the lower 70s under partly cloudy skies. I'll have your full 7-day forecast coming up in just a short amount of time.
Coming up on your news at 9, former President Donald Trump made his official appearance at CPAC on Saturday. What he had to say about the future of the Republican Party. And we have all been enjoying those lower gas prices, but how much longer can we expect it to last? What you need to know after the break.